speaking of the Superdome, we do have reports, too, that part of the roof has peeled back. Of course, this is a shelter. There are about 10,000 people located here.
This country loves two things above everything else, and that's underdogs and comebacks. So wrote James Corville of the Washington Post when reporting on the Saints versus the Colts at Super Bowl 44. Now that sounds like a good sports film. Now that should be a movie. Hello, and thank you for watching today's episode. Now I know I visited this subject matter before with Drew Brees' coming back stronger, but the story of the Saints going to the Super Bowl and winning is one of such inspiration and excitement that is worth reiterating that should be a movie. There are several different angles it can be told from. From research purposes, you could look at from Bags to Riches, how the New Orleans Saints, the people of their hometown, rose together from the depths, by Jeff Dukin from Acadian Publishing. Patron Saints, how the Saints gave New Orleans a reason to believe, by Alan Dunes from Central Street. And Home Team, Coaching the Saints and New Orleans Back to Life, by Sean Payton and Ellis Hinnigan from New American Library. Let's set the stage. New Orleans, Louisiana, has been hit by the worst hurricane in its history. It's been embarrassed on the national news by images of lawlessness in the street and rumors of barbarity. An economy that's been declining for decades has been destroyed overnight. With half the population gone, it's been turned into a ghost town. There's even talk of abandoning the location. Enter the players, the Saints, who there is also talk of abandoning. The New Orleans Saints is a team infamous for playing poorly. Fans have been known to wear paper bags over their heads at games, and the joke is that hell will freeze over before they ever make it to the Super Bowl. It's also said that they're called the Saints because they needed all the help they could get. After Hurricane Katrina, they are stationed in San Antonio, Texas, where they may stay, or they might go to Montreal. But the team does return to New Orleans. They were a team of cast-offs. Their best receiver was a third-round draft pick from Hostruff. Their kicker and rusher were undrafted. Their defensive lineman was a year away from drug rehab. And their star player had been on the free agency heap, where he had nearly been neglected by the whole league. They are led by first-time coach Sean Payton. Payton recalls that when he arrived in NOLA, it was like a post-apocalyptic movie. Much of the city was still uninhabited, and most of the businesses and services were running on a level similar to developing nations. Payton recalls waiting in long lines at the pharmacy where no one recognized him, and this was months after Katrina. Meanwhile, New Orleans is slowly recovering from Hurricane Katrina. The year 2006 was a year of denial, the year 2007 was a year of anger, and the year 2008 was a year of depression. The only bright spot during these years was the Saints' success on the football field. For example, in 2007, when for the first time in their existence, the Saints made it to an NFC championship game. They played the Bears in Chicago, but lost 39-14, due in part to cold weather conditions they are not used to. Yet, when they touched down in New Orleans after delay at 1 a.m. in the morning, they were met by 500 fans, ready to greet them in thanks for an inspiring season. The Saints are acutely aware of their psychological impact on the city. When the Superdome reopens, fire, police, EMT, and other first responders who performed heroically during Hurricane Katrina march onto the field with the Saints. Videos chronicling the city's recovery are played before important games. As it becomes apparent that the Saints may make it to the Super Bowl, a new energy seizes the city. Game scores are announced over grocery store speakers. School projects are Saints-themed, and even Mardi Gras events are canceled because they conflict with the game's time. A movie about the Saints going to Super Bowl 44 would be tense, exciting, and inspiring all at the same time. There are plenty of moments of energetic montages of people all across the Gulf Coast region and all stratas of Crescent City society responding to the Saints' performance on the field. It is the story of the juxtaposition of New Orleans recovering on an economic and emotional level, business and politics of football, the rebuilding of the Superdome, and the dedication of one team. Because it is the story of underdogs and comebacks, not just of a football team, but also a whole American city, I highly recommend that the Saints' victory at Super Bowl 44 should be a movie. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and let us know in the comment section what story of comebacks and underdogs you think should be